Hello and welcome to LabVIEW Advantage. In this video, we'll learn how to use single property node to control the property for n number of controls. First of all, let us consider we have the user interface looking like this. So if I want to use the control, for example, you can have n number of control and n different types of controls. In this case, we have got like a 6 controls. As you can see, they are Boolean, integer, numeric, and string. You can even have add-in clusters as well. If I run the VI, I can press any of the buttons. Okay. So this can be desirable in some cases, but may not be desirable in all the different cases. The main reason is because, for example, like if you don't want to, don't want to allow the user to interact with certain controls, you don't have any control over that one. So in some cases, you want to avoid the user to interact with certain control to avoid the undesirable output. So now what we're going to do it is I'm going to make a case in which I'll write an enum to enable all or disable all. So I'll connect that into the case. So our motivation here is I'm going to enable all the controls in this case and then disable all the controls in the another one. The traditional approach is you are going to create the property node for each and every control. In this case, I'm using the disabled property node. So that basically means for 6 controls, I'll require 6 different property nodes. And if my application would require 10 or even 15, 20 different controls, I'll require 20 different property nodes. This is not only a menial task for the programmer to change the references and creating property nodes each and everything. It also increases the size in the block diagram. That basically means increases the application size, and it is going to slow down the performance of your system as well. So it is always recommended to limit the use of property nodes as much as possible. So I'm just like changing the references of all these controls. So once I'm done, I'm going to duplicate this case and just change the command for these particular commands for this property node. So I'm going to enable all of them. So here, like if I run the VI, what will happen is it is going to disable all the controls in the previous case and enable all these in this case. But this is not actually very much effective approach to write a code. This is not scalable in nature. Every time I add new control, I need to create another property node. So what I'll do it is like I'm going to delete all these property nodes and I'll have only one of that to make it more scalable in nature. I'm going to remove the empty cases so that I have only one case here. So I'm going to disconnect from control. As you can see now, what I get is I've got an empty property node without a reference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the reference for all these controls first of all. So once when I have that one, next thing is I'm going to create the cluster using the bundle function, and I'm going to connect all of that. So this is going to create the cluster during the runtime. Once we have done it, now what I'm going to do it is I'm going to unbundle this one inside the case, and then now I can like select the references that I want to modify the property. Then I'm going to use the build array to build the array of references. Once that is done, I'll require a for loop. So in each iteration, I'll get the reference and the particular reference property will be modified. So in this case, I need to disable the control, so I'm going to change the command value to disable and grayed out. First of all, I'll duplicate and then change that to disable and grayed out, and my code is complete. So now if I run the VI, if in the beginning I have enabled all, if I select disable all, as you can see, I can change the property of a number of different kind of controls using the same property node. Now what if I want to perform some operation? I'll add, for that reason I'm going to add two more commands. The first command will be disable first three controls, and then another one will be the disable rest of three controls. So I'll press OK, and the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to just duplicate the case, and the easiest thing about this one is I just need to get the reference of three of them. So I'm going to delete the three other references in this particular case and just build an array. And similarly, I'll go and duplicate this case, and I just need to change the references in my unbundle by name, and voila, my code is complete. So now if I go to my front panel and then run the VI, and first of all I'll just extend that one so you can see the command over there. So I'm going to change that to disable all. It disables all, enable all, and disable first three, disable rest of the three, and enable all again. So this is how you can make your code more scalable in nature. The best practice is add the sub-VI and make it more modular. I hope you like this video. Please like, share, and comment on this video, and please do not forget to subscribe to this channel for future LabVIEW videos.